Welcome once again to another edition of the Coaches Corner program. Alongside me, Marion Harding boys basketball coach Jamie Pearson, along with girls basketball coach Roy White. And Jamie, we'll start with you. Your first ever win as a Marion Harding head basketball coach had to be pretty excited.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The kids played hard, and we played well, and it was a league win. And after we dropped our opener to Delaware in double overtime, it was nice to come back to our home court in front of a pretty good sized crowd, and get a win in the league where the kids played pretty well.
Yeah. And Corey, last week kind of mixed reviews. Nice win against Galleon, but went up against a really tough Shelby ball club.
Yeah, we played extremely well against Galleon. We were able to rotate our whole bench, get a lot of young girls in, get a lot of first-time scorers at the varsity level, which was pretty neat. We went to Shelby, played a really tough Shelby game. Team who has been projected to go pretty far this year, and they beat us up pretty bad Saturday.
All right. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the highlights from both the games last week for the boys and the girls. We also have some players to talk to. Do want to remind you with exams next week, and then of course schools will be closed for a couple of weeks for Christmas and New Year's. This will be our last show for 2021, so we'll be back first part of January to review a lot of games then. When we come back, we'll talk with head coach Jimmy Pearson. We'll talk a little bit about some of the players as well. We'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coaches Corner program, talking with boys basketball coach Jamie Pearson. And Jamie, I know the article in the paper over the weekend said that Jeff Deal was there. He had obviously some family members there. So, you would have liked to have won at Delaware last week, obviously, but to do it in front of the home fans had to be a little bit special.
Yeah, I think anytime you're a new coach and with your players too, and everybody, really doesn't know what to expect from this Harding team. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, so it was really important to me that we come out and play strong for a variety of reasons, and fortunately for us, our kids were able to do just that.
We saw firsthand the 35-second or 35-point rule this year, which is new for high school basketball. You in favor of that?
That's a great question. I haven't been in that situation a lot where I'm up 35 points, so it makes the game go faster, and I guess when you're winning, you almost want it to slow down so you can enjoy it a little bit more. But when you're down that much, it's probably you probably want it to speed up. So I'll just let the rules makers continue to make rules, and I'll keep coaching, and I'll do whatever they say. How's that sound?
Well, and I can't think we're going to see very many games this year that we're going to have that come into effect.
Yeah, I agree with that. So
right.
It should be interesting.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from last week. Again, Friday night home game, and again, it's nice to get the crowds out there. We saw it for football. We're going to see it for basketball. Good to get the crowds back.
Yep, and to start out, there's Wes Stokes from downtown hitting the three, and then right away we're trying to speed up the tempo. We had a good student section there. CJ Temple has been really big for us. He's another one of our seniors with the steal and the lay-in there, and our kids really responded, and we thought we had some depth, and we just wanted to push the pace. There's Caden Jones with another three for us. I thought we shot the ball pretty well. Maybe early on we struggled with some easy ones, but later on in the game we settled down. Again, there's Wes Stokes doing a little bit of everything, laying it up in the paint, and we really like to get Wes touches around the basket as much as possible. And then here's our 10th grader Marquise Long, who's really doing some big things for us and has worked really hard all off season, and it's good to see him do some good things. Again, you always like when you see highlights and there's a lot of different kids doing a lot of different things. There's Jeff Jones from downtown. And then how about Hayden Bays hitting a three here off the bench to end the half? Hayden has worked really hard for us and does some good things. CJ Temple, again, draining it from downtown. We really put an emphasis on shooting a lot in practice, and I think it's finally starting to pay off for us, and hopefully that will continue on. And then, as you can see, there's Wes bringing the house down with the finish there. Student section was energized, the fan base was energized, and our full court press kind of, I think, got to them later on in the game, and obviously they needed a timeout there. But it was a real good performance for us. But as you know, in coaching and sports, it's what have you done for me lately, and we have some tough games coming up.
Yeah, interesting. You started the highlights with the three-pointer by West, and you finished the highlights with a dunk. So he can pretty much do it all.
He can do it all. With all my guys, I always like to get us established inside, close to the basket first, because that three-pointer, sometimes you can settle for it. But Wes has really grown and buying into that, where we're attacking the rim, and then he can shoot it well too. So not letting it fly there. He's really playing well right now.
I made the comment at halftime last week. I said, even though you were up comfortably, you left a lot of points out on the floor in that first half with some shots that normally you would make.
Sure, a lot of easy ones, and as a coach, you're thinking, what's going on here? But when you've done it long enough, you realize sometimes nerves factor into that. And early on, we were not making a lot of easy shots, and but they settle down, and they'll continue to settle down, and it's not something I'm worried about going forward.
One of the keys, just about everybody that got in the game, and that was just about everybody, was able to score, and it's able to. That's a nice plus when you're able to get a lot of scoring into a lot of different individuals' hands.
Yeah, and it's rewards because I'm one of those people that believe is that your top guy is just as important as the 15th guy on your roster, and everybody makes up the team, and they all make us better in practice. And so anytime you can get people minutes in the game, and you can't always get everybody minutes, but you love to get people minutes, and then it's even icing on the cake when they're able to put a bucket in or two. And I think we had 10 or 11 people score, so that keeps everybody in the gym happy.
All right, very good. When we come back, we're going to talk with basketball player Wes Stokes. We'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, we always like to highlight some of the players, and Wes Stokes is going to join me for this segment. And Wes, coming off an outstanding football season and now full go into basketball season, was that a tough adjustment going from football to basketball?
No, I think it just helps a lot, like with your body. Yeah.
Now, do you play spring sports?
I do track, yeah.
That's what I thought. So obviously, and you're very good at all three. Do you have a favorite?
Basketball.
Okay, because the coach is sitting here, right? Talk a little bit about maybe your keys, maybe what you look to bring to the team this year.
I think having a little bit of everything helps a lot. So, but I'm mostly best at driving, getting to the hole. So usually teams will prepare for that, and then they'll bring a lot of players to me, so that I get all the other players easy buckets.
So you're happy with dishing off and giving the assists as well.
Yeah.
But obviously very comfortable shooting the three-pointer as well. You can be kind of intimidating in the middle just with your size and your strength and so forth. Talk a little bit about rebounding and the defensive part of your game.
I feel like that's just as important as scoring. Rebounds win games, I think. So I feel like if I focus on that more, it will be really easy to get the wins that we need.
I know last year you had an outstanding season, all MOAC first team and so forth. So you got a lot of new guys on the team this year. You're one of the veterans guys, and a lot of people are going to be kind of looking to you for a lot of leadership this year. Is that something that you kind of embrace?
Yeah, I think for the underclassmen looking up to us, it would be really good.
All right, very good. Coach, you're with him in practice throughout the course of the week. What are some of the his senior traits and his senior leadership abilities that you like?
Well, Wes and a group of the other seniors, they've really bought in since I've taken over last spring. And even though he plays multiple sports, he's always, been sure that he's in the gym as much as possible. And as a new coach, as you're trying to set the tone, that's just very important, because if they see that, the seniors are doing it, some of the younger kids kind of fall in line with it. So for me, that's what I've enjoyed the most is his just commitment to being good and to getting better.
With the new coaching, new head coach this year, has that changed your outlook at all, or how has that kind of changed what you do, if at all?
I don't think it changed too much. If it did, in a really good way. I feel like he sees what we need to be better at, and he really pushes us to do those things. So.
And of course, Donnie obviously had a lot of success, but sometimes it's almost good to get a different perspective from somebody that comes in.
Yeah.
All right. Any goals that you set for yourself, or any team goals that you've set?
Just to get better every day.
All right.
Josh, could I jump in really quick?
Sure.
Because I think this is something that I'd like to hear Wes's answer to. He had a new football coach this year and a new basketball coach. And, I think sometimes you can underestimate how tough it is to learn a completely new system. So, Wes, just if you wouldn't mind talking us through, what is it like having a new coach that has new terminology and has new ways of doing things? I know it's challenging, but I don't know if you want to speak to that at all.
I feel like everything our new coach has been doing fits us really well, so that helps a lot. I feel like the kids are willing to learn and get better, so that helps a lot too.
And of course, you played last year when you were coaching Centennial. You played Harding, so you probably knew a little bit about what Wes can do.
Yeah, I sure did. And again, giving a lot of credit to Coach Worstall. There were some really good players coming back that had been developed under him. And Wes was definitely one of the guys that could do a little bit of everything. And, when you take over a situation, it always makes it a lot easier when you have some guys like Wes that can really play.
Yeah, makes it easier for you as well, knowing that you can kind of lean on somebody like that as well.
Yeah, for sure. The old phrase, sometimes it's not about the X's and the O's, it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And, Wes and some of the other seniors have really made my life a little bit easier to start the year.
I haven't heard that expression. I'll have to write that one down.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, you're wearing a Heidelberg University shirt. Any particular reason?
Yeah, I committed there.
Did you really?
It's about like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations again. Outstanding career so far up to this point. I know there's a lot more to come from you, and best of luck throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. For Wes Stokes, and again, Harding's certainly going to be relying a lot on Wes throughout the season. We'll come back with more on the Coach's Corner program right after these words.
The U.S. Army Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps is one of the largest character development and citizenship programs for youth in the world. Their mission is to promote character and leadership development focused on developing self-confidence, discipline, citizenship, leadership skills, and a sense of responsibility within the individual cadet. Throughout this course, cadets will focus on developing citizenship and patriotism. They will develop self-reliance and responsiveness to all authority, improving the ability to communicate well both orally and in writing. They will develop an appreciation of the importance of physical fitness. They will increase a respect for the role of the U.S. Armed Forces in support of national objectives. They will develop a knowledge of team building skills and basic military skills. In addition, anyone taking the 1 to 3 years of this course grants cadets the ability to rank higher should they pursue a military career pathway. For more information, contact your guidance counselor or see Lieutenant Colonel Espinoza in room 234.
Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, and we're going to talk Harding girls basketball right now. And Corey mentioned it was a split last week. Galleon with the win on Thursday, and then having to travel over to Shelby on Saturday. Let's start with the good news.
Yeah, well, we'll start with the good news at Gallion. So we went there, played really well, got our varsity girls in, and then the second quarter and most of the fourth quarter we were able to play a lot of our young girls, which was nice. It's always nice to have those girls on the bench that cheer for your varsity players, to get in and get some gym time in. So they were mostly all able to score, get their varsity buckets as freshmen and a sophomore. So it's pretty neat to see. And yeah, like you said, then we went to Shelby on Saturday, and they put it to us. They put it to us, for lack of better words.
But I guess the good news or the bad news, you get to play them again at your place.
We do,
and,
yeah.
and a lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah, so their head coach was out the first 3 games, so they had their assistant coach coaching those games, and we scouted them and we tried to pick them apart on film, and thought we were as prepared as we could have been going in, and we came out, we were flat, and they threw a bunch of new things at us, having their coach back, which I figured they would. Kind of turned into our rivals the last 3 years, I think. So we've been going at it, and man, they put it to us on Saturday, so we got to prepare and get ready for the next time we play them at home. So.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from both contests last week, starting with the Gallion game.
Well, is that Grace right there with a good block? Well, that was Kiani with the block, wasn't it? Sorry, my eyesight's not the best. Should wear my glasses again. But we
We'll
got
have to
after
get
it.
John to make the letters larger.
Yeah. Kiani's actually, I think she's tied in the MOAC right now with blocks. She's came out of nowhere. I mean, she's 6'1", long frame, and she gets after on defense. She's doing a great job rebounding as well. Here you have our freshman guard Anilya, really pressuring the ball in every single game we've had this year, and she's starting to turn the corner and figuring out her defense a little bit. And here she is again. She had a great game. I think she had 13 points that game. Not a ton of minutes, but we also got her and Kamara Eason with 3 of the other freshmen at the end of the fourth quarter, which was kind of cool to see all 4 freshmen out there on the court.
Wow.
Excited to see them in the future as they continue to get better. And here she is again. We'll keep talking about her, I guess. Lots of highlights, so there she is there.
It's a good thing you brought her onto the show today.
Yeah, you guys will get to talk to her here soon. No, she's a workhorse, and she's getting better every single game. She practices hard, doesn't take plays off. Here we have Brielle with a nice steal there. Brielle's battling some injuries the last couple of years, so she hasn't seen the court a whole lot. So it's nice to see her get in a game and get some confidence underneath her belt.
And then followed up 48 hours later with an away game at Shelby.
Yeah. So here we had a nice steal, and then like you said, like we talked about earlier, Shelby doesn't give up. When we turned around and got a steal, and then we came back and turned the ball right back over, they continue to attack us. All 5 girls on the court just got after it the whole entire time. Kiani there's 2 steals in a row, I think you saw with her there, and then Justice picking up one and taking it to the hole and getting a foul. Gracie just knocked down a nice 3-pointer there that you didn't get to see. I think cut off a little bit too soon. And, their pace was fast. We haven't played a team like this yet, so it was nice to see that there, and hopefully we can prepare for them better when we play them here at our place. That's a nice steal there, but I tell Gracie all the time, use your other hand. It's a lot cleaner. But
And you can tell a lot, in a game like that in the fourth quarter when the game's out of reach, just how hard your team plays.
yeah, and that's what we focused on this week. I didn't think we came out, we got smacked in the mouth right out the get-go, and I didn't feel like we showed enough effort, enough fight, enough grit. So we came Monday and Tuesday this week and really got after it in practice with a bunch of different drills, and brought some guys into practice with and really got after it, and just focused mainly on effort. Like, you can go 100 miles an hour. If you screw up, you screw up. I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with you screwing up going 50%. And it's a game changer. Especially when you play teams like Shelby, who they have a deep bench, and they get it after it from the bench to the court. So it makes it tough.
All right, very good. We'll come back. You mentioned Anilya. We have a couple of freshman players we're going to talk to, and we'll come back and we'll do that right after these words.
Global logistics is the process of managing the flow of resources or goods between businesses and the consumers. In addition, global logistics analyzes the acquisition of goods, how the goods are stored, and the methods of transporting the goods within a supply chain. At Harding High School, we are proud to offer a 2-year class in the study of global logistics. In this class, students will receive an English credit for taking Logistics 1. They will also participate in multiple field trips, making connections through real-world projects with local businesses. These students will obtain Career Pathway Logistics certification, earning 12 credits for graduation. Students may also earn Lean Six Sigma certification, giving them a credentialed advantage in the job market. However, most importantly, logistics offers transferable life skills including communications, economic forecasting, workflow optimization, general management, and financial planning skills that will make them invaluable to any career they pursue. If you're interested in global logistics, don't hesitate. Talk to your guidance counselor or stop in to see Mr. Ellis in room 245 for more information.
Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, and not too often do we get a chance to talk to a couple of the freshman players. We have a couple of freshman players that are going to join me right now. And we have Anilya Mitchell to my left, and then Cummerce Jackson to my far left. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. We were watching some of the highlights, Anilya, and you were in a lot of the highlights. Just kind of talk a little bit about you're a freshman, you're seeing a lot of playing time. Just kind of talk a little bit about your basketball background. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 7, so yeah.
Just always kind of been a gym rat then?
Yeah.
Now, do you play other sports as well?
I run track.
Okay. Kind of talk a little bit about, you can play 7th or 8th grade basketball, but, once you're, at the varsity level and you're playing varsity basketball, there's a whole lot more people watching your games, aren't there?
Yeah, a lot.
Has it been a tough adjustment for you?
Yeah, it kind of has because for AAU, I'm kind of used to everything being fast, but for like varsity and stuff, everything's like slow. Like I have to go up like under control and handle the ball with under control. So stuff I'm getting used to.
Okay, so you're a freshman. Do you think the upperclassmen have kind of accepted you and kind of welcomed you into the program?
Yeah.
Good. That's important. Talk about your strength. Obviously, you're pretty quick.
Yeah.
What do you think your strength is as far as maybe offense? Do you have a favorite kind of shot? Do you try to shoot? Do you like to shoot from the outside? Do you like to drive the ball inside? And talk a little bit about defensively, maybe what your strong suit is. I'm guessing you're probably not going to get in the middle and get a lot of rebounds, right?
No.
But you'll start the fast break, I guess.
Yeah. I'm more like I like to take it to the rack. I don't really, I shoot the ball most of the times, but mostly I look for my open teammates. And I like defense more than offense.
Okay, that's good to know. So you're not necessarily about getting 10 or 15 points a game.
No.
If you can get your teammates the basketball and, you end up with 2 or 4 and everybody else scores, you're happy
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Have you set any goals for the rest of the season?
Win the conference is my main goal for our team.
Okay. Have you set any goals personally for yourself?
No, not really.
Okay. Just be a good teammate and improve every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. And again, a lot of the same questions for you, Cummerce.
Cummerce.
I don't know why I have problems with that. You're a freshman. Talk a little bit about maybe how long you've been playing basketball.
I started in 3rd grade, but I've always been around basketball with my dad and my sisters. They've always been playing, so I was kind of born around it.
Okay. And you have a sister that's a junior on the team?
Yes.
Okay. So in a game of one-on-one or a game of horse, who's going to win that?
I'm going to have to give it to her.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a couple years to
Yeah.
catch up with her then. Talk a little bit about your offense and what you're most comfortable with.
I like making a lot of assists and starting plays and shooting, and then just playing as a team.
Okay. Will you try and take it inside and drive the lane a lot, or are you more comfortable, kind of playing the perimeter?
I'll attack sometimes, but I think I'm more comfortable with shooting right now. I just got to work on my strength with like finishing.
Okay. Being a freshman, obviously, it's a whole different level when you're playing with juniors and seniors and so forth. Has it been a tough adjustment for you?
A little bit. There's a lot to get used to still, which I think Anilya and I will get used to it just in a little bit. But I think my main thing is strength, mostly because a lot of people are a lot more stronger with the ball and stuff.
And defensively, or you consider yourself a pretty strong defensive player?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Any goals that maybe you've set for yourself or for the team this year?
Just to improve more and more every day.
All right, excellent. Well, for a couple of freshmen, you did outstanding. I appreciate you coming on. See, and now that you're on, I don't think you probably have to come back the rest of the season, so you can make fun of everybody else that has to come on the program. But you did a nice job. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more on the Coach's Corner program, and we'll do that right after these words. Once again, a reminder, since exams are next week, and then, of course, school's closed for a couple of weeks for Christmas and New Year's, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break, and we won't be back till the first week in January. So, well, it seems like a long way away, doesn't it?
It does, and when that comes, though, it won't. For me, it won't have seemed like it's been very long because I know we got a bunch of games coming up. We were a little light, I think, to start the season. We went our first week without playing a game. I know Corey has several under his belt compared to me, but we'll probably be caught up by the time we're back, and we just hope that we're healthy and we're playing as well as we can.
Yeah, I know you got a big one coming up a week from Friday against River Valley. You got several non-league games as well. But, this is the kind of time of the year, really, where you kind of spread out. You don't have school for a couple weeks. You can get in and really try a lot of different things, I would think, in the gym and practice.
Yeah, for sure. You welcome that time because it's basketball only over the break, and we're still trying to figure out who we are as a team and within ourselves. And then when you play other teams, you start to figure out who you are as well. And for us, we have two of the league favorites. Will have played by when we tune in next time, Shelby and River Valley. So we'll have a pretty good barometer of who we are as a team. And then on top of that, we got some non-conference games thrown in there. Longtime rival Kenton, we'll play them over the break. We have Columbus City League foe in Division I, Central District opponent Wesley Stone will be coming to our place. And then we have Upper Sandusky, basketball mecca, or it used to be a couple different times, and they'll come in as well, and we'll play them at the old Harding, which is now Grant, and we have a couple games there, and one of them being against Upper over break, and I've been told the kids really enjoy playing there, and we kind of pack the house, and I've been to Grant a couple times recently, and I just think, boy, this place is so small. But when I played there, it didn't seem very small. But really looking forward to getting back there to play some games. So, hopefully we can stay healthy and hopefully we continue to improve every day.
All right, very good. And Corey, pretty much the same thing again, a couple weeks where you don't have to worry about school, so you can get in the gym, you can practice, you can try a lot of different things.
Yeah, we had 3 games last week, which was tough. So we have a game this Friday, so we've had all week to prepare and kind of let our bodies rest, but at the same time working on a lot of skill stuff that we need to work on. And we have really tough matchups next week with Clear Fork and River Valley and MOAC this year. So prepare for those, and then like you said, over the winter break, it's nice to get a little extra gym time, get some more shots up, work on some more ball handling, and go from there. Yeah.
All right. Well, happy holidays to both
Thank
of you.
you too.
Get some wins over the Christmas break, and we'll be back again in January.
Sounds good, Jeff.
That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Coach's Corner program. For both head coaches, Jamie Pearson with the boys and Corey White with the girls, I'm Jeff Ruth.